Hi there, I'm Costas.
And I'm Brady.
And today we're talking about printing on smooth versus textured paper. And we're going to be talking about Jeff Yee's image. Jeff has been a friend of mine, God, since like 2009 or something like that, maybe 2008. So we're coming up on 20 years. I love the guy, he's great. So thank you, Jeff, for letting us use your image to talk about smooth versus textured papers today.
Yeah. So this image was recently featured at the Camera Store C-Space exhibit as part of the Exposure 2026 Photography Festival in Calgary. And Jeff printed this a bit bigger than this.
Bigger,
and,
it was quite large.
Yeah, quite large.
Like 24 by 60 or something like that.
Actually had a really interesting treatment in his presentation, so maybe we'll talk about that later. But,
yes.
Jeff told us a little bit about what he was doing with this image, and it's just really a very Canadian theme, this kind of barren, harsh landscape, and kind of how inhospitable the prairie winter landscape is, but then this kind of hopeful tree popping out of it, like these little glimmers of hope. And so while we talk about texture and how it affects the image, we're going to kind of try and touch on that and what Jeff is trying to do and how that comes through on different textured papers.
Awesome. And we've got a little bit of an unconventional lighting setup here. It's a little bit more raking. That way we can show you with our camera above what some of the texture looks like. So let's talk a little bit about technicalities. First off, resolution and detail. When we're talking about something that's super smooth.
So which paper is this?
This one is Hahnemühle Photo Rag, ultra smooth.
Would you say this is one of the smoothest papers, like the least textured papers you have? Or?
Yeah, it's smooth,
Okay.
very smooth. If you can't even rub it, you can't feel anything. Yeah, I'd say it's smoother than like photocopy paper. Like,
yeah.
This is smooth. The illustrators love it.
Right.
Yeah, so very popular with the illustrators, very, very smooth. And so one of the things about this very smooth paper, in this case, Photo Rag, it's a 100% cotton paper. Resolution and detail, what do you think? How do you think it compares to something that's a little bit more textured?
So I think if we like place them, let's put them kind of in an order here. So
Sure.
we'll put the ultra smooth right here.
Okay, got it.
And then I will put the Photo Rag in the middle. And this is German etching, Hahnemühle German etching over here. So I see a fall off in detail, especially here in the tree trunk. It's not major, but as you come across here, you can see that the details I can see in this very kind of clean, clinical image start to fall apart already by the Photo Rag and substantially by the German etching. And we're going to get to a paper that goes even further.
Okay,
in a minute, right?
Yes.
So, yeah.
Okay, see, I don't think that Photo Rag Ultra Smooth and Photo Rag are as far apart. I think they're really, really close.
Okay.
I do give the clinical look of Ultra Smooth a better resolution and slightly better detail and slightly better kind of gradient. So I'll give that all to it. It is the safe and predictable choice.
Yes. Maybe a little safe.
Maybe a little too safe because it's very clinical. It's super, super smooth. Has no personality when it comes to the paper. Not the image. The paper just has no personality.
Like it's not adding anything to the image.
That's right.
It's not necessarily taking anything away either.
Yep.
It's just neutral maybe, but yeah, it comes across as clinical.
Clinical.
Yeah, which to me is not neutral. Yeah.
I'd give the neutral to the Photo Rag 308.
Yes. Yeah.
So the Photo Rag 308, I consider a smooth paper, but when we put it beside Ultra Smooth, it is not. It has a very delicate surface texture. I like to think of Photo Rag 308 as like expensive looking photo or art paper, like a fine art paper.
Yeah.
There is enough in it to show you that there is stuff happening. Like that to me looks like an expensive paper versus that.
Yeah.
So there's like, it's not expensive in comparison. I think they're both about the same price if you were to buy it. We charge a little bit more to print on that one. But this one just looks a little higher end in my opinion.
Yeah,
Gives
absolutely.
Gives us some
It
gravitas.
has a fine art quality.
It
and we are
does.
talking about fine art papers, and
Yep.
this just, although it is technically an archival fine art paper, it doesn't feel the same.
You got it.
Yeah.
And then we have something that's considerably more textured.
Yeah.
And the German etching here.
Yeah.
And so the German etching is quite rough. Like, can you hear it?
If you can get it, yeah, get it on your mic, see if you can pick it
Yeah,
up.
right here. So it is
Yeah,
quite rough.
It is, yeah.
Which brings up a durability standpoint.
Yeah.
In the case of this one here, it does have peaks and valleys. So if you're printing something pretty low key, there is a good chance that you might scrape off some of those peaks of the ink if you are not being really careful.
And
with
just
this
for
one.
people, like when you're saying low key,
The opposite.
yeah,
Just
not,
a lot of
this
blacks.
is this is a high key. This is very
Yeah,
a lot of white.
absolutely.
So there's very little ink on this paper
Yeah.
actually, whereas a dark image would have a lot of ink, and it's going to have things where it's going to pool, it's going to load differently, and sit in those peaks and valleys differently.
Yeah, you got it. So we're going from something quite smooth or very, very smooth to something quite textured. And then we're gonna throw in the one that it's kind of like a little bit harder to talk about.
Yeah,
Is it textured?
absolutely.
Or,
It's texture and like fibrous, like
Yeah.
but it adds. I think it's in the same direction because all these textures add an element of imperfection to me, which I find very attractive. Like it's organic and
Yep.
it's analog. Yeah.
so this is the Awagami Unryu fiber paper.
Yeah.
They have some sort of funny name to it. It's swirling fibers.
We'll
the
put it in
Awagami
there.
Unryu
We'll pause here and
swirling
put it in here,
fibers.
yeah.
So this one here is a fantastic element. And this brings up a few things about non-technical things when we're picking out prints for images.
Yeah.
And my favorite thing to talk about is the artistic decision and vibes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Vibes.
Yeah.
I love the vibes. So when we're talking about vibes between, let's say, ultra smooth German etching and this Unryu, like, what's the vibe check there?
So for me, I mean, especially knowing what Jeff has said about this image and like inserting myself into the scene and feeling this kind of, you know, what's it like to feel alone on the prairies in this landscape? I think that the texture adds something, like especially here and here. These are just a different experience, but here and here you're seeing, to me, it's almost like the appearance of snow itself.
Yeah,
Like especially
yeah.
in this one, I see this
Yep.
swirling kind of snowstorm. It gives it kind of movement, which is hard to get in a photograph.
Hard to get. Yep.
And then this gives it something more like maybe fog or mist. Like it's a little bit less obvious what's going on here, but I find them both really attractive. Like these textures really lend themselves. I would have been happy with either of these prints, honestly.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
this is the win,
It is the
but
win.
these are both
Yeah.
great. These are not enough for me.
No,
Yeah, and this
they're-
is too clinical.
Yeah, the ultra smooth, way too clinical. The Photo Rag's beautiful.
The Photo Rag is great.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it
but
is.
it's safe.
It's safe.
It's predictable.
Yeah.
And we're not really adding to it by
Yeah.
picking the texture. Whereas I think both of these really do a great job of adding to the image.
Absolutely, yeah.
Can we add too much? Like in this high key version of Jeff's, we could add lots of stuff.
Yeah,
Like,
because
this
it's
is our
kind of a
most
blank
texture.
canvas
You
in
got
a way,
it.
like
Yeah.
but in a good way. Like he's
Yeah.
he's introduced a lot of negative space that we can play with the textures. But in other images, like for instance, generally I would not really want to see a portrait on that. It would detract from,
No,
you know what
yeah,
I mean? Like it would
that'd-
detract
that'd
from
be-
what I was trying to look at.
That'd be pretty weird.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I think
yeah.
that'd be pretty weird.
So
Yep. Texture is something interesting to think about if your original has texture, because we could have like competing textures.
Right.
So in like the repro world, if we've taken a photo of something that's on canvas and we are then printing it on a paper, we might not pick something that has a competing texture. So I think it looks pretty odd when a watercolor reproduction is printed on a watercolor paper.
Yeah.
There's just too much happening.
it's almost like a multiplication, like
Yeah.
it's too much. And that's where you will offer customers the opportunity to make a decision. You could print the photograph texture of your original onto something
Yep.
quite smooth, and then what's coming through and creating texture is actually the image.
From the image.
Or we could do things to kind of blow that canvas, especially if it's white, and remove that texture, and then get the paper to reintroduce the texture. And you have
Absolutely.
clients
Yeah,
who do that,
absolutely.
especially with canvas,
Yep.
right? Like
Yep.
Yeah,
So texture is one of those things where too much of it can distract.
absolutely, yeah.
But in Jeff's case, this is so beautiful. It is like it's snowing. I love it.
Yeah.
Okay. This is something I think you want to talk about, and this is kind of the print versus an object.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so
yeah.
the Photo Rag 308 versus, yeah, let's say
Let's go versus. We can do it.
versus the Unryu.
Yeah.
And so there's a different dimensionality of the paper and a different kind of thing happening here.
Yes.
And so we've got this on the left side here, and it's a straight print. Like, it looks great.
Absolutely.
I'd be happy to have this one on my wall.
Yeah.
And then we have this one, which kind of goes from a print to an object.
And it's a subtle distinction, but there is this like the photograph, the print, the art object.
Yes.
And I think that sometimes photographers struggle to see photographs as art sometimes, or to like lean into that. And Jeff hasn't done that. Jeff has leaned into it. He sees it as art, and he's allowing other kind of random elements to come through. And one of the nice things about this is like every one of these prints, every time he prints it, it's not going to be the same.
Yeah, absolutely.
In many different ways, it's going to differ, and that introduces this kind of that human touch, that organic analog element. I think especially if you're going to be printing in the digital age, we're all looking at effectively, ultra smooth on a screen. It's clinical, it's perfect. We see it on Instagram every day. Frankly, I think a lot of us are tired of perfect. And I think that what I love about printing, and why every photographer should print their photos, I'm just going to say it, is you create an object, and it is a thing you interact with, and it has this completely different experience than a digital image, just like on a screen.
Yeah, I agree. You can't take it too far, though, and I've seen that happen
Absolutely,
as well.
yeah.
And I do love the fact that this Unryu paper has that randomness.
Yes.
And that you'll have to appreciate that when you're printing with it, that
Yeah.
number one of your series and number two will not be the same.
Not at all, yeah.
Which is great, I think. Mm-hmm. One of the things that you mentioned before we started talking about this was the reality versus your artistic impression.
Yeah.
And in the photo world, we can get pretty stuck on reality, like matching the color of what you saw and all that. And so how do you think texture plays into that kind of reality versus artistic approach?
I think even at just this level, like the German etching, even to a certain extent the photo rag, like not wanting the clinicality is a way of just admitting that this is just like every other art form. It happens to be that when you take the picture on your camera, on film, it may look like a perfect representation of reality, but it's not. No. It's a completely different thing. And this kind of acknowledges that and allows this a little bit of imperfection, a little bit of letting go of control a little bit sometimes, and I find that really interesting. But I mean, very few painters, especially nowadays, are convinced that they have to be beholden to verisimilitude, right?
Yep.
They're coming in and they're trying to make something. We see a lot of incredible work that's just wild stuff.
Yep.
But photographers often fall in this trap where they think, I have to still be like true to reality or something like that. And this is interesting because this is, the photograph is a straight image in a way, in that traditional style.
Yep.
But the print is a completely different thing.
Yeah, this one here to me there's so much dimension added, so much interesting visual interest. I just really dig texture for this image.
For that
High-key images in general, I dig texture
They can take a little bit more of it.
Yeah. The lower key ones we have to watch out for. But this just really kind of adds a lot to this image, and not in a bad way that it's distracting.
It complements it really well,
Yeah, so we're not adding texture for the sake of adding texture and making it look cool.
Yeah.
Like, this is cohesive. Texture, image, paper, all of it's happening for the right reasons.
Absolutely,
Okay. Anything you want to add?
Well, I think just following up on what you just said, we should talk really quickly about how Jeff presented this in C-Space.
Oh, yeah, amazing, So Jeff printed this, I'm pretty sure, like 24 by 60.
I think it was.
So we'll change that in the bottom with some captions if that's the case. But he hung this with, in a scroll. Yeah, so what we did there was we we added a bunch of paper at the top and the bottoms, or we printed it with a bunch of leftover paper on the top and the bottom. And then Jeff wrapped that over a dowel and then embellished that dowel.
With like, I think it was, I don't know if he gathered them here exactly, but like branches and twigs. And like really kind of cool deadfall.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was a really beautiful piece the way it was. And a lot of people commented on how beautiful it was, the way he presented it. Yeah.
It was very beautiful.
Yeah.
So I think that's it.
I think that's it.
All right, great. Well, thanks for watching today's smooth versus texture, and something to keep in mind for when you're printing your own images.
Yeah, thanks so much.
Take care.